Are you the cloud architect for Amazon OpenSearch service? And you need to migrate data while transforming it, adding new fields, changing data type, and optimizing for better performance. If that is you, then stay with me as I walk you through with OpenSearch reindexing, a feature designed to make your data migration task easier. My name is Umama Khurshid and I am GTM Specialist Solution Architect Analytics here at AWS. So what is reindexing and why it is important? Reindexing is the process of copying documents from one index to another. Think of it as moving your data from an old index to a new index, an improved one. As we all know, you can't change the mappings on an existing index in OpenSearch. So what's the solution? The solution is to create a new index with correct mapping and migrate your data intelligently. This is where reindexing comes in. It's not just copying data, it's your strategy for use cases like fixing mapping mistakes by changing index mappings or settings, optimizing performance, consolidating multiple indices, or for applying new data transformations. Let's deep dive in the first use case, mapping transformation and performance optimization. Here's a challenge for you. Imagine you have been running an e-commerce search platform for months, and suddenly your product searches are getting slower. Your analytics shows that the category filter are taking forever, and now you realize the problem. When you first built the system, you mapped your category field as text instead of keyword. Now let's go to the AWS console and work with our demo to fix this problem. I have Amazon OpenSearch service running. Let's go to the OpenSearch dashboard and connect to the OpenSearch service dashboards. Now go to the DevTools. I'll create a sample product index with some test data. First, let's create our source index. Here is the product_old index that has 3 fields defined in its mapping: name, price, and category. Notice that the data type of the category field is text. Once the index is created, let's add some sample documents in this index. Now let's create our destination index with improved mapping. Let's call this index as product_new. Notice that the category field has the data type now keyword. This will make our aggregate filter lightning fast. Often you need to transform data during reindexing. Let's add the new fields as created_date and price_category. Later on, while reindexing, we will add transformation logic to the price category. Let's create this new index. Now for the magic. We will copy the documents from the product old index to the product_new index by the reindex API. Here I'm giving in the source the product_old index and for the destination product_new, along with the created date, which is a new field that is added to the new index. I'm giving a default date, whereas for the price category, I'm adding a logic where I'm saying if the price of the product is greater than 100, then call it expensive, otherwise it is affordable. Let's execute this reindex command. Now let's verify our transformation and fix for category data type on the new index. As you can see, all the documents in this new index have the created date with the default date in it, and there is a price category field which categorize the product as expensive or affordable. Now let's check the aggregates on the category. Similarly, you will see that the aggregation on the category field has worked efficiently with faster performance than the previous index. Let's deep dive using aliases for achieving zero downtime while reindexing. Aliases act as virtual pointers to one or more indices, allowing you to abstract the actual index name from your applications. When reindexing data from an old index to the new index, you can create aliases that point the application to the old index. This is perfect scenario for blue-green deployments, a strategy where you maintain two environments. Blue is for a live old index and green is for the new index being prepared. When reindexing data from an old index to the new index, Once the green environment is ready, you can instantly switch the traffic to the new index via aliases. This transition is seamless and helps achieving zero downtime for your applications. However, in the case of data inconsistency, if there are new records that are written while the reindexing process is going on, then you can always reindex subset of data for those missing records. In this way, you can easily reindex data to a new index without interrupting service. Now let's go to the AWS console to see how to implement this with the same product index example. The step one is to create the alias named as product that points to the product underscore old index. Once the alias is created, now your application will make use of this alias and will not access the index directly. The third step is to re-index the data from the product underscore old index to the product underscore new index. Once your re-indexing is finished, then you can switch the alias to point to the product underscore new index. This gives you instant switching with the minimum downtime that your user will never notice with the reindexing. Let's talk about options we have with Reindexing API for handling large indices with millions of records efficiently in your production. The first one is batch processing for speed. This controls how many documents are processed in each batch. Larger batches mean fewer round trips and better performance. You can define the batch size, and larger the batch size, the better will be the throughput. Now, the second option is parallel processing. The slice parameter splits your reindexing into multiple parallel tasks, dramatically reducing total migration time for the larger datasets. And the third option is optimize the target index. You can disable refresh interval by giving the refresh interval to -1 and changing the number of replicas to 0. This setting reduces I/O overhead during reindexing process. And that's all to it. As you can see, reindexing isn't just copying the data. It's your strategic tool for evolving your search infrastructure without breaking production systems. You can start experimenting with this feature today in OpenSearch service. Give it a try and let me know in comments what do you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this helpful. And stay tuned for more OpenSearch service content. Thanks for watching.